Are you serious? Are you serious? Guys, get some coffee this morning. Get some coffee, all right? And just calm down. Just calm down. But we've got some prophecy information that's coming forward. The white train spot behind me here. These white, complete train full of white government train cars coming out of Youngstown, over in the Youngstown, Ohio area. It's what Mike Around the World said we would start seeing. These have been spotted. I'm going to tell you more about that in just a second. Can I just put a disclaimer out there first? Because some of the content and information of this video is for entertainment only. If you see me laughing and joking, okay, it's probably going to be some entertainment. But mainly, we want you to know that things are happening at an unprecedented pace. Prophecy is being fulfilled right before our very eyes. I have footage on the white trains I'm going to show you in a little bit here. First, let me give me a moment because I want to share something with you that I think is pretty important. It's called Forge Resources, okay? Forged Resources. And it's very important. We got this information, with the war that's going on. If we're going to defend our nation, steel is going to be very much needed, but not just any kind of steel. You got to have the right kind of steel. It's got to have the right components to it. So Forge Resources, Colombian coal issue just this year with global infrastructure and military spending at record levels and emerging markets building at a pace the world hasn't seen in decades. Industrial supply chains have delivered a message investors can't ignore. The materials that build civilizations don't pause for energy transitions and wars. And while attention often shifts to other materials, one remains the backbone of everything being constructed right now, and it is almost universally overlooked. Around 1.9 billion tons of steel are produced every year, and every ton of it requires metallurgical coal. Let's just call it met coal to manufacture. Not as a fuel you can swap out, but as a chemical input with no industrial scale replacement. The warships being launched right now across the global Navy, the fighter jets rolling off the aerospace production lines, the tanks, and the armored vehicles defining modern defense capabilities. All of it is physically built from steel that simply cannot exist without coal. Just last week, the White House declared a national emergency under Executive Order 14156, an action to expand coal supply chain capacity and to avert a shortfall that would severely impair our national defense capacity. This is where forged resources come in. That's trading on the SCE and FRG and on the OTC as FRGGF. They have quietly been positioning to become an important swing supplier in global coal markets. The team isn't new to the game. They collectively raised close to $1 billion and have been responsible for major discoveries in the past. So, met coal, it's called. Met coal. I'll show you. Met coal is being repriced. I'll leave you with this, guys. When global steel demand explodes due to politics and conflict, the United States, Europe, and Asia remain structurally exposed. The infrastructure and military defense become fragile fast, and when that happens, coal stops being political debate and becomes a key pillar of global steel supply and national security. The biggest macro driver isn't demand. It's a lack of new supply, and that's where forged resources could fill the gap. If you want to learn more about Forge and the team that already delivered big results, check out the link in this description. Now, guys, as always, I'm going to tell you, Forge controls the only permitted La Estera coal project in Colombia. This is not a concept. It is permitted, actively advancing asset positioned at the core of global steel production and defense supply chains, from Navy fleets and fighter jets to armored vehicles and critical military infrastructure. All of it is built on steel that depends on this coking coal or met coal. In Colombia, it sits directly in that supply chain at a time when secure, reliable sources are becoming increasingly strategic. So Colombia is rapidly emerging as a key source of this met coal, the essential input for global steel production. This is not thermal coal. This is a high-value material that makes modern industrial economies possible. Met coal flows to where steel demand is most critical, into Europe when supply tightens, into the Americas as industrial demands shift, and directly into global defense supply chains as military production accelerates worldwide. Because at the core of it all, there's no steel without met coal. No Navy fleets, no fighter jets, no armored vehicles, no tanks, no modern defense systems. You have to have met coal. I was thinking about in the days my grandmother used to work in the ammunition steel plants during World War II during the height of the war. And those steel plants had to have a certain type of steel. And it required, believe it or not, met coal. Well, met coal is not an open commodity. It is something you have to extract, and it's rare. There is places that it can be done. Colombia is sitting inside a jurisdiction aligned with global met coal supply at a time when steel security has become a strategic priority. Colombia has put together a deal with the United States so that the mining of this coal can be used for U.S. defense systems. Coal didn't just rally, it just got repriced. In 2026, we've seen met coal push into the 240 million tons range. I'm talking way more than that. I mean, this is crazy. This isn't a spike. It is a signal. The world quietly ran into a supply wall and because of the war, and the energy security is now dictating price discovery with its flagship projects. Fully permitted, Forge Resources is advancing with the focus on this excavation of this coal. So, in 2023, Colombia formally designed met coal as a strategic mineral, reinforcing its role within the country's mining and energy framework and heightening its importance in global steel supply chains. Then in 2025, the United States, under President Donald Trump, moved decisively, first classifying this met coal as a critical material through the Department of Energy, and later adding it to the official U.S. critical minerals list via the Department of Interior. No layer in the trade reality. The United States is Colombia's largest trading partner, period, with bilateral trade exceeding $50 billion last year in 2025. What emerges is not coincidence, but alignment between a country formally elevating the material at the policy level and its largest trading partner, upgrading it to a national security input. We need this coal. If you want to be involved in investing in this, it may be something you want to do, you can click on the link below this video and it will take you there. Just go to forge-presentation.com/Paul-Begley. Okay, click on the link below. Find out more about this. Remember, with any investment you do, there always comes some type of a risk. I'm sure you know that. But those of you who want to know more about this, find out how, okay? So this is a critical information. I wanted to share this with you because the Department of Defense needs to have this coal, okay? We're in a war out there in the Middle East right now. We really are. And we definitely got to make sure that we're on top of it, that we have the best military capabilities for our men and women. Okay, let's talk about this white food trains, okay? The white food trains. And this This is what Mike from around the world was saying last Thursday night. He's brought it up about 4 or 5 years ago. He said there was coming a time when there's going to be a scarcity of food, or there's going to be such a shortage of food worldwide that the government will start producing food, okay? And they'll start producing it at unprecedented levels. Now, they started the process of making GMO food, okay? Give me 1 second because I want to get this information for you. All right, just 1 second. Yeah. There's several food manufacturing plants in the Youngstown in Ohio area. Now, I'm not talking about food assistance necessarily. I'm talking about food distributors, okay, in Youngstown. One's called Kale Brothers. I'm not saying that Kale Brothers made this products that's in these white trains, but there is some significant food distribution centers there in the Youngstown area. I'm not saying Kale is part of that. I don't know. They may be. But somebody has got to make some of this food. The government is buying it. I'm going to show you some footage here because Mike around the world said that there's coming a time when soon, because of the drought we're having right now, we have the worst drought in 136 years in America. It's worse than it was that started, and it created the Dust Bowls in the 1930s, okay? So that's what's one issue. Number two, we have the price of oil causing the gas prices and diesel prices to be high. That's going to affect big time the price of food. And then we have the oil prices, shortages due to the drought, and worldwide need for food. So let me show you something. There was a lady, part of our online church, and I've been telling you that the prices in 6 months are, I told you this Thursday night with Mike from the World, that the prices in 6 months are going to go up drastically, and people need to be prepared for that in advance. We talked about that Thursday night. Mike 4 years ago told us that white government trains will be hauling food across America, and you're going to start seeing them. Well, let's go right here. Okay, I'm trying to put that up there. Give me a moment here. I'm having a little bit of problem here. All right, here we go. Now, this was a gigantic train full of food, of the white government trains. And this was spotted out just there in Youngstown, Ohio. Now, where this train is going, I have no idea. But one of our online church members spotted it, that it was a complete full train full white rail cars. And Mike around the world said you're going to start seeing these white rail cars, complete trains full of white train cars full of food. Now, what that means is it doesn't mean that it's already finished food goods. Look, there's going to be an incredible amount of, cornstarch, different food components, whether it be cornstarch, whether it be, different types of large, huge quantities of food that has to be shipped into other locations to be made into all kinds of stuff. I mean, the breading for so many of your processed foods, okay? And sugars and chips and just you name it, okay? This was spotted in Youngstown, Ohio. The lady, she's a member of our online church that got this. She caught the last part of the train, about the last 4 or 5 cars, but it was a full train full of pure white train cars, government train cars. Nothing else on the trains. There was nothing else. There was no other cars of any type. Just a solid, massive, different grains, whether it be barley, whether it be wheat, whether it be rye, whether it be corn or cornstarch. Most of this is going to be grains, and they're going to get shipped into different places for distribution. So that's what you have here: food, white food grain cars, entire massive train loads full, and they'll be going to be used to be made into food. So I don't know where it's going. We don't know where it's going. This large, very long train full of just one car right there. These are you can tell these are brand new grain food cars, white grain food cars that are white. Okay, so here we go. This is exactly what we were told that Mike Around the World said was going to happen. This is exactly what's starting to take place. And we were told this was coming. And now that we got these different components, you have the war going on in the Middle East. You have the price of oil, over $100 a barrel, fluctuating. You have the drought that's happening right now in the United States, the worst drought in 136 years. You have this combination that, and I've been saying, I know I'm a good friends with Steve Ciccalani, and he and I have talked about the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. We've talked about the white. Matter of fact, I interviewed him probably 4 years ago on the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, and we talked about the black horse, which of course is the black horse of the economy, and it specifically talks about the wheat and barley in that prophecy. Well, what you're dealing with here is these grain cars that are government cars that are filled. And this is what we're talking about. I believe that all 4 horsemen of the apocalypse are already out of the stall and are galloping. That these are the first 4 seals of the 7 seals of Revelation. The first one, of course, is the beginning of the establishing of the Antichrist system, not the Antichrist himself. He's not here yet. We don't know we don't know who he is yet. But the system, his throne is being prepared. The New World Order is being put out for us. And my book that's coming out, Trump versus the Beast, we go into this in detail. And we tell you who the different players are of the 10 kings of the book of Revelation. So, I mean, this is going to blow your mind, this book is, because we call them out because we know who they are. We know who the secret societies are. We knew who the players are. We know who the political players are. We know who the industries are. We know who the billionaires are. We know who are putting together a new world order. It's in the book, Trump versus the Beast. And these white rail cars Mike Around the World told us about, I don't know. You know what? It had to have been 2016, 2017, 2018, he started talking about the white cars, government white cars for food distribution. And the Bible, and when I was talking to Steve Ciccalani, we talked about it. I believe that the white horse is the horse of the Antichrist that establishes the Antichrist seat. I believe that seal's been broken. I believe the black horse is the horse of the pair of balances in his hand. It's the horse of the economy. That seal is broken, and the wheat and the barley and the oil and the wine is all in play now. The red horse, of course, first of all, you got the horse of war. So you got the white horse of the apocalypse, the red horse of war. Well, that's definitely in play, whether it be the Russia and Ukraine or whether it be the Middle East. Number 3 is the black horse of the economy, and number 4 is the pale horse of disease, pestilence, and plagues. Okay? So what are the white cars trains for? Mike Around the World said we'd be seeing them soon. They are for the food distribution, government food distribution, government food distribution. As things are getting heated up, okay? Things are heating up. We are living in these end times, no doubt about it. And Mike from the World, we talked about it last Thursday night. So if you didn't watch last Thursday night's broadcast, you should watch it. Go and watch last Thursday night's broadcast interview I did with Mike from the World. We talk about the white trains, food distribution, governmental white trains that are going to be going. You're going to start seeing them all across the country. And now here's a very long white train, food grain for food, going through Youngstown, Ohio, a couple days ago. We talk about this and a lot of other stuff, okay? So I need you to find out about that, okay? Find out about that. Also, understand why this is all part of the GMO, why they started making the genetic modified organisms of wheat, grain, wheat, barley, rye, soybean, corn. All of these commodities are GMO created. And Mike told you it's GMO government food. That's it. You got to have the grain. Then you take it and you process it into all kinds of processes and fillers and flavoring and breading for different things you eat that you buy, in the freezing department or wherever in your grocery store. It's made with GMO breaded material. And this is why when you eat processed foods, this is why you gain a lot of weight. Because really what you're eating is not healthy at all, okay? It's just not. So this is going to become the way of the times that we're in. No doubt about that. I'll be back with more, guys, right after this. Get a cup of coffee and just try to calm down a little bit. But the white trains are being seen now. Here we go. They're being seen.
God, I'm so scared for this crooked generation. You even find faith in the earth, bring down revelation. Forgive us now the sins of our youth, worshiping the idols that knew everything but the truth. Teach us how to uncorrupt our minds. Show us now while we still have the time. We need you, Yeshua. Holy, holy, hallelujah. We need you, Yeshua. Holy, holy, hallelujah. We abandon everything to follow you, our King. We throw our gold and silver in the stream.
How much will we see before the fire falls? Lord, could this really be the last altar call? We need your blood over the doorposts of our hearts. Anoint us with your fiery love as the praise and worship starts. We need you,
We throw our gold and silver in the street. We abandoned everything to follow you, our King. We throw our gold and silver in the street. We abandoned everything to follow you, our King. We throw our gold and silver in the street.
Yes, things are happening now at unbelievable pace. The white train's being spotted in Ohio. A complete massive long train in Youngstown, Ohio area going through the country. Government food, white trains that Mike from the World said would be coming. Now starting to be spotted as the pressure is going to build. Okay, the pressure is going to build because of the drought, because of the high price of oil, and because of and the war. These things are going to seriously begin to affect global food supply. Matter of fact, America's going to have food, but we're going to pay a lot more for it. But there are countries in this world where there will be a lack of food. I mean, a lack of it. They're not going to get it. It's going to get serious. And so just keep your eyes open as things develop. We're living in the end times. I'll be back with more current world events and how they relate to biblical prophecy. Give your life to Jesus Christ because he is coming soon. No doubt about that. I'll be back with more today. There's a whole lot going on right now. Wow. Are you saved? And if you're sending in your Pentecost offerings, you can do that. Of course, the Feast of Pentecost is May the 21st through the 23rd. I taught on this yesterday. You can learn the unbelievable 7 levels of the blessing of the Pentecost offering. But you send your Pentecost offerings in May 21st through the 23rd. God said that when you do this, you will be blessed, of course. And there's 7 levels to that blessing because it is one of the 7 feasts. And, of course, there's 7 different food. Okay, we're talking wheat, talking about trains. I don't want to trust in these. I want to trust in what God promised you. The wheat, the barley, the oil, the grapes, and the olives, and the figs, and the pomegranates, and all 7 of them, okay? I just want you to be blessed with all of the 7 levels. Understand what each one of those mean, including the 7 gifts of the Spirit of the Lord, not the 9 spiritual gifts, but the other 7 gifts that God promises, okay? Find out all about that. I taught on that yesterday. Find out what that means. And if you want to send in your Pentecost offering, you can do it right now. Just go to our website at paulbegleyprophecy.com or pick up the phone and call today, 765-414-2230. But Pentecost, of course, if you want to wait till the 3 days of the Pentecost feast, you can do that. That's May 21st through the 23rd, okay? I'll be back with more. The trains are starting to run. Oh, boy. Oh, boy.